Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Cross Canada C4FM Weekly Net. This net meets every Wednesday evening from 2100 Eastern, that is at 100 UTC. And the written net is a result of a roundtable conversation between three hams, one in BC, one in Ontario, and one in New Brunswick, who wanted to bring Canadians together from coast to coast and those abroad so that we could create new friendships and share some ideas and technical information. This is VE3BF, Bravo Foxtrot. My name is Dennis, and I'm located in Ottawa, and that will be your net control station for this evening. This net is conducted in digital and analog modes and is linked through various repeaters and nodes across the Wires X network via room 40678, giving licensed amateurs from across Canada and around the world the chance to participate. This is a directed net, so all traffic and comments shall be directed through me. Before taking regular check-ins, I'd like to announce tonight's topic. Well, we're coming up on the first long weekend, the opening weekend of the summertime, and I'm just kind of curious as to what you're doing to celebrate Victoria Day. And it doesn't have to be ham radio related, but if it is, that's an added bonus, and you'll get an extra gold star next to your name. Before I take regular check-ins, I'll ask if there are any stations that are in and out, any stations that cannot stay for the entire net, or any stations that are mobile or portable. Please come now. Okay, I didn't hear anything, but I did see VE7PGE flash across my screen. VE7PGE, come on aboard.
V7 Pop Golf Echo, Coldstream V7PG.
Okay, very good evening. You've stumbled across the Canada C4FM Weekly Net, and welcome aboard. And if you tell us who you are and where you are, we'd like to put you in the logbook. Over. V7PG, are you still there? Okay, let's start off with regular check-ins then. Let's work our way from the East Coast through the West because of the time zones. So anyone in the Atlantic provinces, please check in now.
Victor Echo 1, India, Quebec.
Victor Alpha 1, Victor Charlie. All right, I've got two gentlemen there. Good evening, VE1IQ. I know we've spoken before, but I don't have your name in front of me here. I think this is your first time on the net, so welcome aboard. And I've got Don, VA1VC. Anyone else in the Maritimes wishing to check in?
VE1 Zulu X-ray.
I got you, Brad. Good evening to you, sir, VE1ZX. All right, let's go to the top of the list. VE1IQ, very good evening. Come on aboard.
VE3BF, VE1IQ. It's Brian here in Greenwood, Nova Scotia, and coming through Southampton repeater over in the Parisbro area there. It's a little hike from me, but I'm marginal getting into it, but it seems to work, Dennis. And this is the first time on the net, although I have listened a couple times. I didn't have a radio that was capable of getting enough power to get back in, so I purchased M100, and it seems to be working pretty good for me. VE1IQ.
All right, very good, Brian. Well, welcome to the net, sir. It's good to hear you there out by Greenwood, and you're sounding terrific here into Ottawa this evening, and I'm sure across the country. Any plans for the long weekend, sir?
New Hampshire to the Ham Fest down there for a few days, and thoroughly enjoyed that. But that's it for here. Just staying local for the weekend. VE1IQ.
All right, very good, Brian. Well, thank you for joining us this evening, and we hope to hear you again real soon. You have a great long weekend, sir. VE1IQ, VE3BF with the net. Let's go to Don, VA1VC. How are you, Don?
Yes, good evening to you, Dennis, and everybody across Canada. Well, you sound tired, and I feel extremely tired, but anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. It gets cold here at times, so I wish it'd warm up. Black flies are here anyway now, and got a can of bug spray, but the only exciting thing I'm going to do on a long weekend is, if things happen the way I like them to be, I expect a lot of berry bushes to arrive, and then I get my garden all planted in berries, and then I'm going to have a rest for maybe the month of June, and then we'll see what summer really feels like in July and August. While I just kind of lay around. What is it, like the that old fella in that TV series, The Life of Riley, whatever? It's kind of a hard thing to do when you're not used to it, but anyway, no, nothing too exciting for me. We're getting too old for excitement. I know there's other people a little older than me that get excited, but I guess some days over for me. I just have a steady pace now, and hopefully I will enjoy life as it comes to me. But anyway, Dennis, I guess that's it. Answer your question, and I hope everybody has a good long weekend and a very safe one, because there are a lot of things that happen that's not so good for people over the years that I know myself experienced. So anyway, with that, I guess we'll just say everybody have a happy and safe long weekend coming up, and that's it, Dennis. And thanks for calling me in.
All right, very good, Don. Thanks for being with us this evening. Good evening, Brad, V1 Zulu X-Ray. How are you this evening?
V3 Bravo Foxtrot from V1 Zulu X-Ray. Oh, I'm really fine here, Dennis. Had a nice day here. Like Donnie says, a little on the cool side. The wind was coming off the water, but inland it was a little warmer. Good evening to Brian there, V1 IQ there. Brian's quite a ways from the repeater there. I'm quite surprised he gets in there from Greenwood. So it shows the coverage of the repeater there, Dennis. And the long weekend, well, I'll probably just lay around here. My young fella's got a place next door. He'll be down with the grandkids, and I'll likely spend most of the time with them there, Dennis. Thanks for checking me in, and have a great evening there. V3 Bravo Foxtrot from V1 Zulu X-Ray here in Two Island Parsville, 7-3. Have a good evening.
All right, Brad, thanks for joining us this evening. It's always a pleasure to have you aboard, sir. And that brings me to the bottom of my short list. Any other check-ins in Atlantic Canada? Please come now. Well, it looks like we're going to have a small group tonight. Maybe some people have already headed off to Dayton, or some people are enjoying the summer weather. But that's okay. All the important folks are here. Let's open up to the province of Quebec. Province of Quebec and the Atlantic provinces, please come now. All right, let's open it up a little further west. Let's go to Ontario. I'm going to take a chance tonight and say all of Ontario. Anyone in Ontario, please come now. Tim in Windsor, I've forgotten your call, and you got a little bit of a double there. What was the call again, please, sir?
Yeah, it's Victor, Alpha 3 Tango, Golf November there, Dennis. No traffic, just checking in, and a beautiful day down here in Windsor today, over. It was in the mid-70s, it was 76 today.
Oh, that's terrific, Tim. It was a little bit cooler than that here, but beautiful day nonetheless. I think it was around 60, 68, 70 maybe at its peak. So very good, sir. Thanks for joining us this evening, and have a good long weekend. Next on the list is VA3YJC. You may remember Jack from last summer. He helped me do some net controlling, and Jack is the proud owner of a brand new FTM 7250. And I had the pleasure of pushing some of its buttons for the first time. Nice looking rig. Good evening, Jack, and congratulations on the new radio. VA3YJC, V3BF in the net.
VA3YJC, VA3BF, thanks for all of those good words, Dennis. Without your help, I'd still be looking for what kind of tone and what's the offset and all of that sort of thing. It seems to work really nice. I really do appreciate it, and I prettied up that bass. You might want to have a look at that. It came out not too badly. Looks okay. Doesn't slip around too much. I put a rubber base on it too, so that works just fine. As far as the weekend goes, we got lots of people coming in for supper. We've got shopping to do, we're going to run off to the Manatic, the Suntech greenhouse, and get us some tomatoes and probably a couple of those top sirloin steaks at the butchery, and do some cooking for the incoming. Go ahead.
Well, that sounds wonderful, Jack. I'm sure you'll enjoy having the company and good cheer, and you get to show off your new radio with its fancy new bass. Maybe persuade some people to becoming hams. Hi. Thanks for joining us this evening. Let's go over to James out in Canada, VA3JPX. Good evening, sir. All right, very good, James. Very good. Thanks for doing that again, and remind us again your website so people could find it, those who are not on the Facebook page. All right, very good, James. Thanks again for doing that. And for those of you who are not aware of the Facebook page, you can find us just typing in the search bar Canada C4FM or C4FM Weekly Net or Canada Weekly Net. Anything along that line you'll stumble across, and the only thing we ask is that you pop in your call sign if you want to join the group. That way we know you're a ham, and we'll gladly bring you in. That brings me to the bottom of my list here. It's coming in slow groups tonight, but that's okay. Let's see if there's, I see a couple of international stations, so let's open it up to the U.S., and there might be a station in Trinidad and Tobago tonight. Anyone outside of Canada wishing to check in, please call now.
Good evening, Dennis. November 1, Charlie, Delta, November.
Kilo 2, Alpha, Delta Alpha, K280A, Andy in Ocala, Florida. Good evening to Denis and to the group, K280A.
All right, well, we've got two fine gentlemen there. Good evening, Steve, and good evening, Andy. Welcome back to the net, guys. And Steve, N1CDN. What's the holiday? Well, I mean, you're an expat, so maybe you celebrate Victoria Day. But I think there is a holiday. Is it Memorial Day? What's the holiday this coming Monday? And I know it's not a day off for everyone, but there is something. Is there not, Steve? Come on aboard. N1CDN, V3BF.
Yeah, VE3BF in the group, N1CDN here in West Central Florida, not too far from Ocala in Seminole, center of Pinellas County. And on the 25th, we celebrate my ex-wife's birthday. No, wait a minute. There's something else. Memorial Day. That's what we call it down here. Memorial Day. And I'll be honest with you, I don't fully understand the meaning of it, and the Ocala station probably fill it in a lot better than me, but it has something to do with honoring the veterans. Not necessarily those that lost, it might be those that lost their lives, but it has something to do with veterans. Something different from Veterans Day, but which is November 11th, as you would call it, Remembrance Day in Canada. But it's along those lines as well. Just reconnected. I didn't realize my node wasn't connected. Couldn't understand why I wasn't picking up the net. But here I am, and I finally checked in. So good to hear you all. Those of you who are wondering, yes, we made it back alive from our cruise, and this guy went ziplining through the jungles of Central America. I got sick halfway through. They had to take me back to the ship. Not really proud of that. Anyway, 7-3 to everybody. Have a great evening. Good to hear you all, and good to be heard. N1CDN in Seminole, Florida. Not Seminole County, Seminole. That's in Pinellas County. 7-3, good night.
Thanks for being there, Steve, and thanks for the shed of light, and the happy birthday to your ex. That's always a good celebration. Hi. Good evening, Andy, K2ADA. How are you this evening? Glad to have you back aboard, sir.
Thank you, Dennis, and good evening to all. I am also on a brand new FTM 7250, and I'm really enjoying it. Nice little rig. And it's working well for me in the application that I have it for, which is as my Fusion base station rig, since my 100 that sits here is actually the RF link to the repeater in town, and the other 100 is in my car. So this is working really nicely. I like the fact that it remembers mode when you program in memories, which the 100 doesn't do. So if you're programming an FM station, it remembers that the mode is FM. And I like that it also remembers rooms. Like the FT70 gives you that option to program in a couple of favorite rooms, which, again, I miss in the 100. I wish that it would do those things. Memorial Day, I believe, is, if you go back to the original idea, to remember those that have lost their lives in defense of the country, and like most holidays in most countries, most would probably not know the actual meaning anymore, since it's kind of morphed into other things. Usually, I would think that most people would say that it's kind of the opening holiday of the summer season. But there you go. And again, good evening to all from K288 in Ocala, Florida.
All right, very good, Andy. Well, you're in good company there. I'm sure the new users of the 7200 are all discovering little features that are pretty cool. And yes, I did discover that, and it also remembers power levels, too, for each repeater. So, the 3200 does that as well. I'm sure the 100 may do it, but I just don't use my 100 often enough. It's the node radio here in the shack, so it just kind of sits there and does its thing that I never get to touch other than change the frequency of stuff in the computer. Anyway, that brings me to the bottom of my list. We'll open it up again, see if there's anyone else in Ontario or East before we get out west.
Victor Echo 1, Romeo Charlie. Charlie.
For Charlie.
Okay, a couple of collisions there. I know I missed one. I may have missed more, but I've got Hal, VE1LV. I've got Rob, VE1RCC. Who did I miss?
John, VA3JYK.
Whiskey 4 / for Golf for Sierra.
Okay, John, I got you, JYK, and I got Sandy. Good evening, sir. And anyone else? All right, let's go to the top of the list. Good evening, Hal, VE1LV. Come on aboard, VE3BF.
VE3BF, and then this is VE1LV. As I told you earlier, our son was down here a couple of weeks ago and started getting rid of things that were in the house here for over 50 years, and a lot of them never looked at or never touched, so I've been continuing, and I forgot. I was so busy working here, I missed the start of the net tonight. I was cleaning off a table here that is covered with discs and papers and what have you. So I think the question of the night is about the holiday, and we have nothing special planned. Probably go for a drive and take in a sightseeing tour of a location here in the province. Other than that, nothing special, Dennis. So back it comes, VE3BF. This is the E1LV.
All right, very good, Hal. Well, we were going to send you a text there to remind you sooner or later, but I knew you'd come around. Good to hear you, and I'm glad you're having fun with the cleanup there. That's a big step, and sometimes it's tough to let go. But glad you're into it. Over. Let's go to Rob. Good evening, Rob. VE1RCC. How are you this evening?
VE3BF, RCC here at home. Here, in the big city of Wedgeport here. Just got back from the parents' fair, watched a little reality TV stuff there and all that. So getting back home there and getting ready for bed type thing. Yeah, for the question, I believe the question is on the same as Hal. I missed the first part. What we're doing for the vacation there for Victoria Day. My mom's birthday is just a couple days before that, and so we kind of like combine the two together, if you will, and celebrate one way or another. I'm going to bring her to a place here in Tuscan there where they have like fine dining stuff. So we're going to go there and all that stuff. So that's basically what I'm doing on my end. So anyway, other than that, not much more there. So thanks for letting me in, and everyone have a good one there at VNRCC.
All right, very good, Rob. Glad you could join us this evening. Glad to have you aboard, sir. John, good evening. VATJYK, how are you this evening?
VATJYK, I'm good. Just on my way back from a AM meeting we were at, so that's what we were doing tonight, and I'm not really doing anything for the long weekend, so back to you.
All right, very good, John. Well, glad you got the chance to check in there. Hope everyone had a good meeting, and if I remember correctly, I think it was something about summits on the air, so I hope it was a good topic for you guys. Let's go to Virginia. Good evening, Sonny. Whiskey 4/4 Golf 4 Sierra. Good evening. It's been a while, and welcome back to the net.
VE3, Bravo Foxtrot, W4/4 Golf 4 Sierra. Roger, Denis, it's only now that I connected again to CQ Canada. My 73, I don't have any traffic, though for the Memorial Weekend, my sister and my brother is coming over to Virginia to celebrate it. I don't know really what it is because I'm a Filipino, but we will be celebrating it. My 73 will be here on standby.
All right, very good, Sonny. Thanks for being with us, and it's always good to get together with family, and that's a celebration in itself. So you enjoy your weekend, sir, and thanks for joining us this evening on the Cross Canada C4FM Weekly Net. That brings me to the bottom of my list, so let's open it up a little bit more. Let's call in anyone in Manitoba, Saskatchewan, or Alberta to join us. Please call now.
Victor Echo 2, Mike Hotel Mobile.
Victor Alpha 6, Delta Whiskey Foxtrot.
All right, very good. Let's pause there. I got Victor Echo 2, Mike Hotel. Good evening, Mark. And I've got Stephen Victor Echo 6, DWF. Good evening, sir. Let's go to Mark, since he's mobile and he was first there. Come on aboard, sir. And how are you this evening? Did you have any plans lined up for the long weekend? Over.
Net Control, this is Victor Echo 2, Mike Hotel Mobile. Again, the first name here is Mark, Mike Alpha Romeo Charlie. It's nice to be on the net. I don't really have any traffic or anything else to pass on, and I appreciate the opportunity to check in, even though I'm a little out of sequence here. Certainly for this weekend is mostly I follow I have a wonderful wife, and she's also very sweet, and she's a honeydew wife, so it's a honeydew weekend for me. We've just got a lot of spring cleaning and a lot of chores and stuff to do this weekend. A birthday for a nephew, and so that's really the agenda. But got to get the stuff done. We've had a nice enough spring time, although weird in temperature-wise. It didn't give us really much opportunity to get stuff earlier, so it's all accumulated now, and there are must-dos from my honeydew. So that's about it, and we'll look forward to hearing the rest of the people on the station on tonight. So I'll pass back to Net Control. Victor Echo 2, Mike Hotel Mobile, standing by.
All right, Mark. Well, thanks for joining us this evening, and I guess I'll say enjoy your honeydew list, and there's always satisfaction of getting through it, and I'm sure they're all good projects. So thanks for being with us, sir, and have a great weekend. Stephen, I missed your call. I misspoke your call there. I gave you an echo instead of an alpha. I apologize for that. Victor Alpha 6, Delta Whiskey Foxtrot. How are you this evening?
I'm really good, Dennis, and everybody on that. My wife gave me that look because she was listening to, as she sometimes does, and it was kind of ominous, but I've got a honeydew list too, as well, so I don't know. Spent the last couple of days doing, some lawn repair, so heavy machinery and lots of back-breaking lifting and work and stuff like that, so a little tired. Other than that, for the long weekend, just probably, going out to visit some in-laws that are camping, and I'd like to get some more practice on my new lens that I just bought. You'll probably enjoy this. It's the Canon 2.8 70-200 IS version 2, and super happy with it. Anyway, back to you, Dennis. This is VA6 DWF, back to VE3 Bravo Foxtrot.
Very good. Well, that is a fine piece of glass, that's for sure, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. My 70-200 image stabilized lens lived on my camera body probably 80% of the time, so I've since replaced it with a 40-150, which is a mirrorless lens, and it's also image stabilized, but same thing, f2.8, and that one lives on my camera a good portion of the time. So I've since changed cameras. I'm not sure if you're aware, but I'm now on the mirrorless side, so I'm enjoying Micro Four Thirds. It's a little bit smaller, lighter, good for a guy with a gray beard like me. Hi. Enjoy your lens. You've got yourself a winner there, that's for sure. That brings me to the bottom of this short list. Let's open it up and see. We'll call in BC, and anyone else east of BC is welcome to call in as well. British Columbia, wake up. We're early tonight.
VE9 CAS, portable VE3.
V7 Alpha Mike.
Well, it's the 2 at a time net tonight. Good evening, Jason, and good evening, Mike. Jason's quickly getting the reputation of being the mobile guy. Jason's checked in now more under portable call signs than anyone else, so congrats on that, Jason. VE3, so where are we this evening? VE9 CAS, V3 BF.
Thanks for calling me in there, Dennis. I am in the capital city of Ottawa, downtown, at, I think you can believe it's the Carlton Hotel on Cooper Street. I got quite a busy schedule this round, Dennis, so I don't know if I'm going to get to meet up with you or not. I'll send you a text tomorrow. Extremely busy schedule, but yes, I'm trying my best to check in from very portable stations as much as I can. So I'm coming in on TWO there tonight. I'm on the 5th floor, just with the factory antenna on, and coming in loud and clear. So thanks for checking me in, Dennis. And I think the question was, what are you doing on the holiday? I will be driving from Rivière-du-Loup to Quebec, and my next trip is heading to Bermuda on the Norwegian Dawn. So I'll say 7-3, and great to check in. VE3BF, VE9 CAS, portable VE3.
All right, very good, Jason. Well, it's too bad that I didn't know you were in town a little earlier. We could have gone out for dinner, but we'll hook up next time. No worries, buddy. No worries at all. And good to have you aboard there, and good to hear you. It's sounding really good into VE3 TWO tonight. VE7AM, good evening, Mike. How are you?
Okay, very good, Dennis. Good evening to you and everyone on the net. And hello, Jason. Good to hear you on. Doing quite well. It's been hot here in the Okanagan. And I mean hot. We had a high of 30 degrees today. It's cooling off now. It's only 27. And I think we are expecting rain, which is good. But, yes, if you've been following the news or watching the news south of us, on close to the Washington border, their Grand Forks, they're having problems. The snow melt, and the rain is going to just make the situation a little worse. Anyhow, be it as it may, nothing special this weekend. Frankly, I reached a point in stage. I think how can the E1LV can reflect on this. Every day is just like every other day in our point in time here. There you go. Oh my. That's it, sir. Nothing special. Probably some gardening work. It's usually the start of, I consider it the start of summer. So that's it, sir, and have a good night, and we'll be here for a while. The E3BF in the group. This is the E7AM Vernon.
All right, very good, Mike. Well, thank you for that. And yeah, I'm glad that all is good at your place there. And yes, we have been following the news. So very good. Thanks for being with us. And happy gardening. Let me see if there's anyone else in BC before. Well, actually, let's open up BC or East. Anyone in Canada, please call now.
Victor Echo 7 Golf Delta Echo Jack in the Nanaimo. Good evening, Dennis and everyone on net.
Oh, very good evening, Jack. And how are you today? How was your weather on the in Nanaimo? And what have you got planned for the long weekend? I saw some photos of some gardening. Hopefully that's all done, and you guys get to enjoy a little bit of time off. Over.
Good evening, Dennis. B7GD. What are we going to do this weekend? My wife, I'm going to help her with the garden, I think. I don't do willingly, but I will. And she's acquired from Devon, B7LSE, wife, Catherine, 9 chickens. So they were chicks when we got them. Now they're almost chickens, and they need to go outside. So I think there's a chicken coop being built this weekend. So that's probably our outside project. The weather's been awesome, much like Mike said up in the interior. We haven't had quite as warm a weather as the interior, almost. I think we were 28 one day. We were 22 today, which was a very nice day, and it's forecast to stay around 19 to 21 for the next week. And no rain in the forecast at all, so it's going to be an awesome weekend. I guess the only wish I had is that fuel prices would drop here on the island. We're now $1.50 a liter. Well, a tenth of a cent short of that, but 149.9. So it's not exactly inexpensive gas anymore. Back to you, Dennis.
Ouch. Yeah, I feel bad for you there, sir. That's a terrible price for fuel. I know that here it's well, not quite as high, but it's certainly high. We see it in as much as $1.37. I think it was this morning when I went in on my rounds. So that's definitely not good. And diesel, I paid the most I ever paid for diesel. I paid $1.27 the other morning. So that stings a little bit. Anyway, thanks for being there, Jack. And building a chicken coop, I think, takes the prize tonight. It's not ham radio related, but maybe you could put an antenna on top of the chicken coop, and then you'll get yourself an extra gold star there. Thanks for being with us, Jack. That brings me again to the bottom of the list. So we'll do a final call here. It's an early net tonight, but we still have 18 check-ins across the country and some into the U.S. So I'll do a final call. Any stations anywhere, Canada, U.S., or anywhere around the world wishing to check in, please call now.
I rechecked your Dennis VA3TG. Is that a better signal?
Oh, your signal's fine, Tim. No problem whatsoever. There was no problem with your signal before. It's just that I had multiple stations calling in at the same time, so we had a couple of collisions there. But no problem with your signal whatsoever, sir. You're sounding good. Over.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard all the stations. I'm using an FT when the DRs are handy talkie there.
Well, sounding good, sir. The FT1 is sounding perfect. You're getting into the repeater, no problem. I think, if I remember right, you have an antenna out on your balcony or something. But sounding good, Jim. Thanks for being with us. Over.
Yeah, take care. Yeah, definitely I'm leaving early Friday morning for Dayton around midnight, and then I'll be getting down there just before daylight time there. Almost 5 o'clock Eastern time.
Oh, very good. Well, enjoy the show, and we'll look forward to finding out next week what new toys you've come back with, Tim. So thanks very much, and enjoy the Hamfest. That's a great way to spend the long weekend. Let's open it up one more time. Any stations anywhere wishing to check in? This is the last call.
Victor Echo 3, Romeo, Quebec Bravo.
VE3RQB, good evening, Rob. And how are things in the Toronto area? Over.
Yeah, hello, Dennis, everybody listening. I'm in Bradford, a little town just north of Toronto, straight up the 400 highway there. About a 40-minute drive, I guess. And
No, nothing to report here. No changes. Nice weather today. Nice weather again tomorrow. And congratulations to Jack and that other fellow that sorry didn't get his call on the 7250. Great little radios. I was just looking up. I was trying to see if there was any place where you could put in GPS coordinates to come up with mileage on the display, but it doesn't look like they have that capability there. Back to you, Dennis.
Yeah, you're right, Rob. There is no GPS in that radio, so I don't know if Jack, or you may be seeing, actually, take a peek, see if you're seeing anything on mine. My coordinates are set up through my node. I'm transmitting on a 3200 that doesn't have a GPS, but I don't know if you see any mileage on your screen because my mileage is supposed to be broadcast through my node. But anyway, you can let me know if you see something. You may not. I don't remember if you do or not coming from the 3200. But yeah, they are a pretty cool little radio. I got to play with jacks there, and it's got some really neat features. I look forward to picking one up in the fall to install in my truck. So I'll have the UHF band in there as well. All right, well, that brings me to the end of the list, and it was a quick net tonight, but we still managed to get 19 check-ins plus myself. Summer holidays are starting to come in, and the numbers do go down. We expect that. Thanks for all who took the time to check in. Glad to hear you. Have a safe long weekend. This is Victor Echo 3 Bravo Foxtrot closing down the Canada C4FM Weekly Net and returning the repeaters, rooms, frequencies back to normal amateur use. 73 all. Have a great long weekend.